Hello everyone, this is Empress Pamela. I wanted to give you an update on my DoorDash Escapades day 14. So in the last video, I said I may or may not go out and do my first GrubHub. And sure enough, last night, December 26th, after I came home and did my DoorDash, which was very fruitful, came out to 37.32 per hour. I grabbed some grub of my own, and I had a block scheduled with GrubHub from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., and I did my first GrubHub delivery. I happened to go back. It was funny. So I happened to go back to Pizza Hut. The offer came in at $22.55, and it said miles like 14 or something like that, but it's really not that far from my house because I've been going up there. Anyway, point being, it was my first stacked order, which I have not done a stacked order with DoorDash, but because of the amount, the payment, the offer of $22.55 and the miles, I was like, and I wanted to do my first one just to tackle the beast of getting used to a new app. I think that's one of the main fears, is like understanding how to use the app and then getting used to it. So I did that, and it was at night, 5 to 6 p.m. And I ended up, so I go to Pizza Hut, pick up the stacked orders, which I kind of had to fumble and figure out whose is what, because I used my pizza bag, and it was like one order was 2 large pizzas and the other one was one, but it had sauce with it or something. I don't know. Anyway, too much detail. Anyway, they ended up being delivered to just around my neighborhood. So that wasn't too bad. At the end of the time, so it took me 50 minutes. There were 2 drop-offs. 50 minutes, and I ended up being just around my house. And then I was going to go out and try to do DoorDash, because they were offering, I want to say, a $2.50 incentive from 5:30 to 7:30. And I was like, oh yeah, see, this is how it can get addictive. Let me go out there and do that. But if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I don't really like doing this at night. And one thing I noticed that I really need to be careful of is when I'm approaching someone's house and they don't put their lights on and there's stairs involved, because I am older, I guess. I need to be very careful about going up and down the stairs, handling my phone and the order in my hands, and just making sure I'm grounded and know where I'm stepping. So heads up to you. You should always be careful anyway, no matter your age. But yeah, I'm like, I could see how this could get dangerous. So going at night, it was a good, clear night weather-wise. I mean, yeah, it was cold, but doing it in inclement weather, I don't see myself doing that at this point. In the dark, in inclement weather, that's not going to be my gig. What else? Learning how to use the GrubHub app. It's like when you finish, in order to get to the next screen when you're saying you arrived at the client and whatever, and the next step, you have to slide it versus tapping it. So I was trying to figure out how to get to the screen where it says take a photo or whatever to finish the mission. Of course, I'm more used to DoorDash apps, so I like it more because now I'm used to it. But that's not to say I don't like GrubHub. It's just getting used to the app at this point. Having stacked orders, because they were in a familiar vicinity, i.e. within 3 miles of my house, let's say, it wasn't too bad because I'm familiar with the neighborhoods and I knew the street names and so forth. But if I'm in an unfamiliar territory, I could see where I might get flustered or it might be more challenging to me. So, yeah, that's something to be aware of is you're not always going to get your neighborhood, I would think. But anyway, there's definitely money to be had, whether you use DoorDash or GrubHub. I'm still on the wait list for Instacart. Um, I could do Uber Eats, but I haven't figured out how to use the delivery part. I signed up with Uber, years ago, probably before the pandemic, I want to say. And I just never felt comfortable about having some stranger in my car. I really don't like to be that energetically close with a stranger. So, but trying to figure out how to do Uber Eats. When I get DoorDash and GrubHub under my belt and I get my 50 deliveries with DoorDash and I work up maybe the same amount with GrubHub, then I'll entertain doing Uber Eats and try to figure it out how to use it. Yeah, but I got confirmation from GrubHub this morning that they're sending me the GrubHub official bag and the card. So if there's shopping to be done, I'd be, I guess, open to doing a shopping with them to see how that works. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's like once you look at me, I'm drawn to this crystal today. Once you get a couple under your belt, it can get pretty addicting. I mean, if you're averaging $27 to $37 an hour, right? That's this holiday week. But even if we went back, even the other day, the Christmas Eve, wow, $27 an hour, 32, 16 might have been my worst average per hour. That was on the 15th. And this is, let me just go over, like $16 an hour. Oh, that was a bad day. $11. Oh, that's when I had the shop, my first shop with Lowe's Foods. Yeah, that was kind of a nightmare day. $25 an hour. What's this? $20 an hour, 22, 20. Yeah. And these were when I first started. So even as a newbie, 19, 16, 24. Wow. And pretty good. And then I noticed for myself when I get a cash tip, I don't want to say I end up like expecting it from other people, but that can kind of get me excited too, like when I get a cash tip. I don't know. And then I don't know if I mentioned it in yesterday's, but Christmas Eve when I had that big order and I had to wait 20 minutes at Thai Cafe and then I had trouble finding the woman's house, blah, blah, blah. She ended up adding $1 to my tip. So I got even more money, which I haven't updated. But anyway, maybe I should update that. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. And, I am 59 years old. I am a college graduate. I have experience in the corporate world, insurance, mortgages, real estate, just doing, I want to say secretarial, but that's probably an old-fashioned term, administrative work, data entry, more recently, just to take some of the stress off. I mean, but I enjoy being in my car, listening to the radio, and the rush of completing an order and then seeing that money, the task get done, I indicate done, and then that money gets added to my account. So there's something about that gratification. I don't know if it's my addictive personality, but yeah, there's some nice incentives, and I can see myself like when the weather is more like there's no excuse not to go out. So the weather's nice and there's longer days, so more daylight. that kind of thing, I could see myself really enjoying it. I could see myself, if I retire, well, when I retire and hopefully move to the beach or a coastal town, that I could enjoy having this as a side gig, where if it's the height of summer season and you have a lot of renters and they don't want to go out grocery shopping because of traffic or whatever, or they want a meal delivered, I could see myself really doing that in retirement, and enjoying it. Seriously. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm really hyped. Now, that's not to say I'm excited to go out today. Today's a dreary day, blah, blah, blah. But the day's not over. And I guess I'm probably scheduled to go tonight from 5 to 6. And that's the other thing. I scheduled time with both DoorDash and GrubHub just to get a slot available so that I could go out if I choose to offer my services, my delivery services, but I don't feel like I'm penalized if I'm absent or don't show up or don't feel like doing it in that day. Now, if they change their rules or whatever about being a driver and associated with them, and you have to, if you commit, you have to do it. I hate that have to, woulda, coulda, shoulda, all that kind of bullshit. I want freedom. So once my freedom is in jeopardy, then I'd have to rethink things. But for right now, I feel free. I can go and do it when I want, when I'm in the mood. But once I'm out there, I get like a rush, and it becomes something that's feeding that part of my addictive personality. So if you're a psychologist, let me know what kind of disease that is. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. If you are considering being a gig worker or even just doing this whenever the feeling overcomes you, I recommend it. Yes, do your homework, look at other people, look at people who are actually doing videos while they're driving. I'm not probably going to do that. I'm only showing you the results and talking about my experience. But there are some good drivers out there that I watch that have really good tips and so forth. I think it's Driver Mike, Gig Driver Mike, something. Meaty Mama, although she's taken a break, I liked her videos and her personality. Yeah, those are two that come to the top of my mind when recommending other gig drivers. But anyway, Happy New Year. I love you. If you subscribe, I'd be ever so grateful. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.